Is right now. What's the next one? Snowflakes are winter's version of butterflies. So that's the takeaway we can take when the snow comes in. They're just winter butterflies today. Al, it's like Mother Nature knows every time we're about to go live because the rain just picked up within the last couple minutes, and I think now it's turning into sleet. It's hitting my face, and it hurts a little bit.
KTIV's Claire Bradshaw has now completed the winter storm tri-state trifecta, filing live reports from Nebraska, South Dakota, and now Iowa. Claire, tell us where you are and what the weather's doing there.
Al, the good news is I found some cover at the Tyson Event Center in Sioux City. The bad news is the weather has just gotten worse as I've been out this morning.
Dr. Udelhoffen says a good rule of thumb for knowing if a toy is safe for a child is by comparing it with a toilet paper roll. If the toy can fit inside the roll, then it's too small for a child under the age of 3. Allen says the common lower back injury is caused by this movement. You go to scoop up the ice and throw it behind you, twisting yourself into a spasm. So who can gather? People who are fully vaccinated can gather with others who are fully vaccinated without having to take those safety precautions like social distancing or wearing a mask. But if you aren't fully vaccinated and you don't live in the same shared household or at a higher risk to contract the virus, you should still take those health precautions like social distancing.
We have Clay County, Iowa Sheriff Chris Rattling on the phone with us at this hour. Good afternoon, Sheriff. I know we spoke yesterday about the road conditions. What's changed in the last 24 areas in your county?
You need to just stay put. You can't be traveling today at all.
Sheriff, I understand you're not even traveling today. You told me you were stuck at home.
Yeah, I had a good 8-foot drift probably in my yard.
KTIV's Claire Bradshaw has been at the scene throughout the morning, and she joined us now live with the very latest information. Claire?
Yep, Al, we just talked with Lamar's fire chief. Again, those 3 people, we have their latest conditions. 2 were sent to Floyd Valley Healthcare here in Lamar's. They're said to be in okay condition. The 3rd person, his name is Bill Anthony, and he is the owner of these 2 houses that were destroyed. He was sent directly to Mercy One Medical Center in Sioux City and then sent to Lincoln, Nebraska, to the burn center to be treated there. We do have video from a viewer that shows those large flames this early in the early morning, and they think this was caused by natural gas, judging by how the explosion went up into the air instead of out of the sides of the house. Crews are now surveying the damage. They say there are numerous homes in the area that were damaged by falling and flying debris. Chief Shipper compares this to surveying after a tornado. But one thing is for sure, this explosion was powerful.
KTIV's Claire Bradshaw joins us live from the scene with the very latest this morning. Claire.
Al, like you said, there is a suspect in custody at this time. We're just not sure if the incident this morning is related to what happened here in Laurel yesterday after 4 bodies were found dead in the town. Now, I'm closer to the scene that was active this morning than when I was first here. This house behind me is where Nebraska State Patrol are surrounding. They have it blocked off with caution tape. A couple of the windows on the top floor seem to be shattered. I'm not sure if that is from the explosion that I heard earlier this morning. There were 2 loud explosions followed by white flashes of light. Shortly after that is when police came over and told us they had a suspect in custody and they cleared out. Now, I do want to point out we have KTIV's Matt Hoffman and Irvin Doman on scene. They spent their whole day here yesterday talking with neighbors and getting the facts about this situation from yesterday. They do point out that the house that Nebraska State Patrol troopers are surrounding now is just right across the street from the first home yesterday where there was an explosion and a dead body found.
Colonel Morrison is added to a list of first women. The 185th's first female enlisted in the unit in 1963 as a nurse. The first female fighter pilot joined in 1997. The United States Armed Forces lifted the combat exclusion policy in 1993, allowing women like Morrison to take on aviation combat roles.
First off, stretching to be at maximum flexibility.
Go up like this. Do you point your toe or do you keep it up? Arms out in a T. 1, 2, 3, kick up.
Then the strength to push yourself off the ground.
Lunge. T. Hands out.
And then try to kick over.
Something I obviously do not have.
Finish.
In Iowa, there's a doctor on a mission to increase awareness of vasectomies while involving more men in contraception.
In this Healthbeat 4, I step inside his mobile vasectomy clinic.
It's hard to miss Dr. Esquire Guarin with a medicalized vehicle painted with sperm motif. Step inside.
This is the waiting area.
It looks like a normal procedure room.
And then they come over here, which is the procedure room.
This one, just on wheels. Dr. G travels through Iowa and to Sioux City every month to perform vasectomies on the road.
In Iowa, for every man who gets a vasectomy, according to data from the Iowa Hospital Association, there are 4.5 women getting tubal ligations, which tells you that women are 4.5 times more likely to be participants, active participants in permanent decisions when it comes to contraception. So that's where the need happened. So when we came up with the idea of doing this, it was not necessarily to bring services to other areas, but to be able to bring the message, to convey the message of the participation of men in contraception.
The procedure is not different in the mobile clinic than at a brick-and-mortar doctor's office. Dr. G says he does a 15-minute no-scalpel procedure using a local anesthetic. He contrasts that with a woman getting a tubal ligation, a more invasive surgery with longer recovery time. His goal? Increase visibility of the procedure, ultimately lowering that 4-to-1 tubal ligation to vasectomy ratio in Iowa, and show choosing male contraception can be an act of love.
Why are you doing it? Well, because of my children. If I have one more child, I will not be able to provide to my children all what I'm providing right now. Why do you want to do it? I'm doing it for myself. I want to live free of responsibilities. You know, why are you doing it? I want to do it for the environment. It's too many of us on the planet. If I choose to have a child, I will adopt. I don't see the need of having a biological child. So it's always some expression of love towards someone.
He works with World Vasectomy Day, recognized on November 18th, to provide cheaper and sometimes free vasectomies around the world. He doesn't care where men get their vasectomies.
My sort of competition here is not the other surgeons who are doing vasectomies. My true competition is tubal ligations.
As long as he increases the statistic and lowers the stigma. In Sioux City, Claire Bradshaw, KTIV News 4.
We've linked Dr. G's website inside this story on KTIV.com if you want to make an appointment. We also have some more information on the procedure there as well.
It isn't uncommon for Northwest Iowans to trace their family tree back to Dutch settlers, but those of Dutch descent, especially Frisian lineage, could be living with a hereditary genetic mutation. The phospholambin protein, or PLN gene, can mutate in the heart.
It causes some issues with your heart regulation, and it affects calcium in the heart. And basically, when there's an imbalance of calcium regulation in the heart, it causes different issues like heart failure, cardiomyopathy, sudden cardiac arrest in some cases.
Lucy Borkowski, a Dordt University student, is spending her summer making Northwest Iowa aware of this gene mutation. She's reaching out through social media, news media, and community groups to spread the word on what PLN is and who it affects.
You need to have some sort of Dutch ancestry in your family, and from there you need to be able to trace back some heart conditions, cardiac problems in your family. And so just because your family has a history of dying young from heart attacks or heart failure doesn't always mean that you might have the PLN genetic mutation.
There's currently no cure for the PLN gene, but if diagnosed, there are effective treatments.
If you're aware of this mutation, you can be proactive instead of reactive. You can do those heart failure treatments. You can have a surgical procedure done. And if you're aware of it, you can increase your life expectancy, and data shows that it typically increases your life by about 20 years.
Borkowski is focused on bringing awareness to the PLN gene, not diagnosing it. However, she works with people to create a family tree and connect them with a genetic counselor for initial testing. Claire Bradshaw, KTIV News 4.